Well, for more on the implications of People's Democratic Party members, state chapters and zones endorsing President Bola Tinubu of the APC for a re-election bid in 2027, we are now joined by Debo Ologunagba. He is the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, as well as Mahmood Jega, a Rise News analyst. Thank you both gentlemen for being on the news tonight. Let me begin with you, Mr. Ologunagba. Your party has issued a stern warning against what you call anti-party activity, citing sections of your party constitution. But is it not too late in the day, particularly when you see someone like the FCT minister who has been openly endorsing President Bola Tinubu since he assumed office as minister in the APC government?
Thank you very much. Adeswa and Ngozi, think it's nice to be here. But let's start with this. There's no time that is too late when it comes to events relating to human organization. And that at any time, when an institution decides to take action, and if I may draw this, politics, 24 hours is a lifetime. And so, if we're speaking now, I will not agree that it is too late to have that. In any event, Nigerians are beginning to see the quality that the PDP is made of, in terms of its ability to put its acts together at trying times. And in the last couple of weeks, you have witnessed the recalibration of our party in coming together, all the organs, the Governors Forum, the Board of Trustees, the National Working Committee, and every other organ, the state chapters, coming together, one, in the interest of the party, second, in the interest of democracy in this country. So, our party have reviewed in a very detailed analysis of what has been happening in the last couple of years, and we decided to issue a last warning. And indeed, it is a last warning. And we're promising stiff, very stiff penalties for members of this party who goes outside the Constitution. The beautiful thing about the PDP is the fact that this is arguably one of the best parties in Nigeria in terms of organization and the rules and the guidance. The Constitution of the PDP is almost perfect. There are no perfect documents anywhere, but it made provision for foreseeable situations, one of which is what we are finding today. Therefore, the NWC, in its wisdom, having revealed all of this, decided to issue the statement, and we mean every word contained in that statement. This is a reprimand in line with Section 59 of the Constitution of the party, and we intend and we're determined to follow through that.
All right, let me bring in Madam Mahmood Jega. What do you make of this final warning coming from the PDP to recalcitrant or erring party members who are in the PDP and endorsing, members of another political party, in this case, the APC presidential, or president, let's say president. He's not a presidential candidate yet because he's not officially said it. But are you concerned that the political landscape of Nigeria is changing and may never be the same as we always knew it before now, where you can eat your cake and have it?
Well, I agree entirely with the National Publicity Secretary. This kind of thing has almost never happened in Nigerian politics. For members of one political party, or whole state chapters, or even regional chapters of a political party, to declare support for the presidential candidate of another political party, it is a classic case of anti-party activity, as he said, because what is the essence of belonging to a political party when you are not part of its effort to acquire political power for a certain political and other goals? The difference even is that anti-party activity used to be done underground. You hear political parties accusing members of doing anti-party activity underground. But this one is even open. A whole state chapter says it is declaring support for the candidate of another party. You can't have more anti. Then what is the whole essence of belonging to a political party if you have other considerations above helping your political party to acquire political power? Although, to be frank, this kind of thing happened before. In 2003, for example, leaders of the Alliance for Democracy, which party was in control of all the 6 states of the Southwest Zone, quietly agreed with President Obasanjo at the time to help him by not deploying a presidential candidate for their party. And they thought they had an agreement with him that we will help you to get re-elected on the platform of PDP, and in turn you will support us to maintain our gubernatorial positions in our states. And as it happened, as soon as he was re-elected, he turned against them, and 5 out of the 6 of them, it was only the then governor of Lagos, Governor Bola Tinubu, who survived. All the other 5 were defeated by PDP candidates in the gubernatorial election. And even this time, it looks like maybe the PDP leaders in Ogun and Oshun and possibly Oyo State, they believe they have an understanding. Okay, let us help President Tinubu get re-elected, and in turn, he will help us to maintain our control over our states. But then they forgot exactly what happened 21 years ago in 2003.
All right, Mr. Ologunagba, some would say former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the likes of Dino Melaye, who have left your party, may be justified when they say your party has lost its way, and that's why they've had to leave. Because when you say this is final warning, one wonders what has stopped you up until this point. Who are you afraid of? Why is the PDP that has boasted to be the Iroko of Nigerian politics, like Chief Bode George would say, you know, and you boasted to be in power, to remain in power for 60 years, although you did 16 years. Why are you afraid to wield the big stick when it comes to, you know, your members who are erring?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's important for us to know that when you have a human organization like the PDP, that is truly rooted in the people, what we emphasize as the first line is reconciliation. Because yes, you have constitution, there are guidelines and there are rules, there are mode of behavior. You allow for that opportunity to have conversation. But in the normal nature of man, there's certain people that you cannot, by their makeup, by their constitution, and they have the capacity to begin to go and do anti-party activities. The constitution of the party is very clear. Membership of a political party is voluntary. And you can exit if you choose to exit. But as long as you're within the party, there are rules and there are guidance. Section 10 particularly, subsection 6, which was quoted in that statement, clearly said that no member of the political party, particularly PDP in the constitution, shall align. That's the word shall. So when you go outside that and you decide to go that way, there are provisions for you. Section 59 was very clear, reprimand, and there are other safer measures. So right now what we are saying, enough is enough. There's a red line. We are right now having a yellow card, like they say in soccer. The red card will come and the party will go ahead. We're going to have a zero tolerance to indiscipline, anti-party activity, recklessness in statement. We must forget about ourselves as individuals. Right. We should begin to think about this country and the democracy. When you sit down, rather than talk about this government that has failed us, we're busy talking about individuals that wake up and just say any statement
so
because they feel that way.
Mr. Ologunagba, we don't have much time. How far is the PDP willing to go in wielding this big stick? You say it's a yellow card now. What will the red card be?
The red card, true, will be to expel the individual from the party, because Section 59 put out in sequence of what can be done. Reprimand, censure, we can't fine depending, suspension, and of course, the final thing is to expel. If you continue in actions that are inconsistent with the constitution, that bring the party into disrepute, and then bring about disunity and division within the party.
Okay.
We can no longer afford that. Nigeria cannot afford that.
All right.
Democracy cannot afford that. And we must take action
Right.
as a political party. And we will do that as appropriate.
Mahmoud Jega, I'll come to you, my question, but first, let's play a clip of an interview with Charles Anyogolu, a former National Secretary of the PDP and former Governor of Osun State, Prince Ologunagba Oyinlola, and what he had to say about the governor of that state, Osun State, openly endorsing President Bola Tinubu. We'll be right back.
Now, 6 months since the allocation of the local governments in Osun State has been withheld, which means the people of Osun State, they have been shortchanged because the local government is no longer running. And as governor whom the people have reposed their confidence to govern them and govern them well, must do something to ensure that the government is running well.
Yeah, but is it, I mean, is it being withheld for political reasons or for other reasons?
I would want to say political reasons.
Are you one of those who endorsed President Tinubu for 2027 from the PDP in Osun State?
That's the decision of the party.
So it was a collective decision?
Yes.
But if you're endorsing President Tinubu, doesn't that undermine everything you've just said here?
It does not.
About...
It's all game.
All right, Mahmoud Jega, you heard Prince Ologunagba Oyinlola there. Does this paint a picture of political survivor means behind the scenes coercion? Is that what is likely playing out here, even though the governing party continues to deny coercion and intimidation? Mahmoud Jega.
Well, with the greatest respect, my understanding of what he said is that it is a deal with the APC federal administration in order to get the withheld funds of Osun local governments to be released because they had a controversial local government election in the state and there was a lot of crisis and all that. But still, I think it doesn't make sense because they could as well just defect en masse to APC. How can they say they remain in PDP but that they endorse the candidate of another party, even if it is in order to get local government funds released? It destroys the whole essence of having been a member of a political party. And in any case, you know, they should also worry that it may send the wrong message to other regions because this democratic contest is supposed to be based on political parties. But if whole regional chapters for suspected ethnic reasons, members of different political parties all coalesce around a candidate, as I said, for suspected ethnic reasons, then we may be sending a wrong message to other parts of the country that political parties are no longer the basis of electoral contest, and we can as well begin to contest based on our geopolitical blocks. That is one of the dangers of this strategy, as I see it.
Well, in the case of Debo too, of Ogun State PDP, he actually said we're supporting Tinubu because he's from the southwest, a very dangerous dimension, like you say, Malam Mahmoud Jega. Well, we'll have to leave it here. Debo Ologunagba, you have one more word to say before we wrap things up?
Yeah, let me clarify the fact that the zonal or the chapters do not speak for the party. And like Dr. Mahmoud rightly said, it is completely inconsistent with the Constitution to be in our party and endorse another candidate. That is not acceptable. That will stop. And in any event, to clarify this, there have been no decision from the Southwest, either based on ethnic reason or for some other constitution, to support the candidate of the APC. None whatsoever. Right. If those individuals speak, they're speaking for themselves, to which those warnings relate. And they know that they cannot if they are still members of the PDP. All right,
Debo Ologunagba, PDP National Publicity Secretary, thank you very much for joining us. And Mahmoud Jega, Arise analyst, both of you gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight.